What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Brenner Video YouTube channel. And today we're in Millerstown, Pennsylvania with driver of the number 7 car, Meade Hahn. Meade, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What are we looking at here?
So this is a 22.5 front clip 2014 chassis of a Swartz race car.
A Swartz race car. Where are they made?
They are made in Minford, Ohio.
Wow, that's awesome.
And this one actually came from Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah, we drove out in a snowstorm, me and my wife.
You went the whole way to Nebraska to get this?
Yes. It's actually Corey Dumpert's car. He was like a 7-time IMSA champ out there. And this was his 5th year in a row of winning the IMSA championship. This was his car that he ran that year.
A Swartz racing chassis and the number 7.
Yes.
What's the meaning, or is there a meaning behind the number 7?
Yeah, so as you can see on the spoiler, It says in the loving memory of the bearded wizard, Bill Hahn. That was my father. He owned race cars from the 70s up until the early 90s. The first driver he had was Dale Kerstetter, and the number they used was the 7. So whenever I was a little kid going to the races, that was who I wanted to be. I wanted to be Dale Kerstetter and drive the number 7 car. So he had that car. They built their own chassis. He built his own motors. So I've been around racing since I was
going to say, so you grew up around it.
Yeah.
What did your dad race?
He actually never drove. He drag raced back in the 60s, but then he just got the itch to go circle track racing. And they, one of his crew members was actually going to drive the car, and then his wife made him back out. So then they put Dale in the car.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was but yeah, it was in Liverpool, Pennsylvania was where they stored the car at. And I can remember going over there as a kid and walking around the garage and sitting in the car. I have pictures of it and everything else.
Where'd he race at?
They raced Selinsgrove, Port Royal, Hagerstown. They raced all over the place.
Wow, all over. When did you first drive a race car?
The first time I drove a race car was in 2000.
What was it?
It was a Frank Schaefer. At the time, it was a street stock. They turned it into the pro stock class.
Kind of the same where you could go to a junkyard.
Yeah, we went to a junkyard, tore bodies off of it, and put new bodies on, and I tore up a lot of stuff when
Times
I was
have changed.
younger. Yeah, yeah. Nowadays, it's hard to build your own stuff. You basically got to buy it.
Why did you decide to race a late model?
We ran the pro stock class for a long time, like almost 10 years. One of our competitors, Ed Powell, in the super class back then, was friends with my dad, and he was like, you know, you need to move your boy up into a late model. When he said it, I was like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. So we bought a car off of Steve Campbell. We went super racing for 12 years, 13 years I ran supers. Ran out of funds to be able to afford the motors and some of the things that you had to do to run supers and be competitive. We just dropped down to a limited.
So how long did you run supers for before you switched to a limited?
It was like, I've been racing since 2000, so like 26 years. And I think this is 13th year of running late models. So it's like 10 years I ran supers.
Do you have any plans of moving back up or trying anything else, or are you just going to stick with the limited?
I have fun in the limiteds. We're a lot more competitive. The motors are a little more affordable. They're still expensive, but we can. I can afford to do that the way that I'm doing it now. So that's why we went with the class we went with. Would I like to run a super? Sure. It's faster. It's better. It's a lot harder just because of the speed you're doing. But in one of these, we're actually at Selinsgrove. We can qualify mid-pack in one of these cars just from lap time. It's just how much money you want to spend.
Yeah.
You know, 30,000 or 60,000. So I'm just a 9-to-5 HVAC guy. So we just do what we can do. Yeah.
Before we get into the new season, how did you make out last year?
We got 50 points at Selinsgrove. We ran there pretty much the whole year and only there. We ran Port Royal one night. The other times we were going to go up there, it rained out or something just happened that we couldn't make it up. I'm just way more comfortable at Selinsgrove. It's where I've always raced at, so I just have a lot of laps there.
And how far is it from here?
It's about 30 minutes. I'm actually halfway between Port Royal and halfway between Selinsgrove. So it's about a 30-minute drive either track that we go to. So
now, were you dedicated to a track? I'm assuming Selinsgrove, you did really well there in points?
Yeah, ever since I started racing, that was where I like to go. Port Royal is just a little bit different shape, and I just have not gotten quite the setup that I need to do really well up there. Selinsgrove, I just seem to
a lot more comfortable.
Have a lot more confidence in myself to race up there and do good. So we normally focus on Selinsgrove.
Now, besides Port Royal and Selinsgrove, BAPS is local to us. How often do you go there?
I went there one time It'll be 2 years ago now. I finished, I think, 8th my first time up there. Was
pretty
second or
good.
third quick in the warm-ups and stuff. I didn't do too bad. I just didn't go with enough tires and tried to be cheap whenever I went. So I did what I did, but we had fun up there. I would like to go back there. It's just all on schedule on how much money we have and how many races we're going to run here.
Meade, I'm looking at this car and I see the Bearded Wizard, and you briefly talked about that, but
Yep. Yeah, so in the 80s, my dad had a beard, and the local newspaper, I believe it was for Selinsgrove, came up with this title of the Bearded Wizard for my dad because he was the crew chief, and they were a fairly dominant team back then. They won a lot of races. The promoters always told my dad they didn't know which one was bigger, the bitch line or the payout line.
Yeah.
Whenever they were done at the end of the night, because everybody always thought they were cheating. Yeah, the newspaper article has that as the title. When he passed away, I put it on the car
That's
ever since he
awesome.
passed away.
yeah, that's really cool. So this season for 2026, we talked a little bit about which tracks. Are you going to do the same as last year and try to stick more with Selinsgrove because it's so close?
We're going to run Selinsgrove for points for sure. We'll be there. I think there's 12 races, so weather dependent, we'll be there. And then Port Royal has, I think, 12 or 13 races. We're going to try to hit some of them again. I know a couple of them have some conflicts with some family stuff that we're going to have to do, that we're not going to be able to race on those nights. BAPS, I'm not going this early. It's a little too cold for me.
Yeah.
I only got one motor. I don't want to hurt it, so I'm going to wait till it warms up a little bit.
Did anything change from last season as far as with the car upgrades?
I am having my shocks redone by Jim Stevens. I bought them last year. I've had Phil go over my motor, changed a couple of small things, camshaft, just trying to get a little bit faster, try to get a little more speed out of the car. Hopefully just do a little better than we did last year.
I mean, as long as you've been doing this, does it get any easier?
No, I actually think it gets harder the longer I've been doing it. Like when we ran Pro Stocks, 4 springs, a set of shocks that you could buy for $90. Now it's 6 springs, all the adjustments in the world where you can just change something and totally screw the car up. And no matter how hard you drive, you don't go any faster. You actually get slower the harder you drive sometimes, I feel, in this class. We have tried to upgrade some things, and we're going to see what happens. Like, we're trying to spend more money on tires and upgrade as much as we can with the amount of money we have. So
What's it like if you're here all week working on this car and you go out there and it just doesn't do what you want it to do?
it's a terrible night. I always tell my wife that it's so hard some nights because I get to have the fun. I get to sit in the seat and drive. It doesn't matter if the car is terrible. You still have fun
it's
out
still
there.
fun.
Like, it doesn't matter. But it's frustrating whenever I stop then and you know you didn't do good, or you spent all that money, you spent all that time, and you finished 15th or 20th, whatever it is, and you drove your guts out and you still finished 20th. And she's like, this kind of sucks. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I had fun. She's like, well, how could you have fun? I'm like, because I got to compete. Like, I got to race next to people. So it's not always bad, but it is frustrating some nights whenever you think, okay, this is what I needed, and it just doesn't work out for you. But there's always next week till the season's over, but we just keep going up and trying, and we'll see what happens.
Who helps you when you go out? Who's your pit crew?
My wife is my, she does all my helmets and gets me in the car, gets me buckled in and everything. Wade Thompson, he used to race back in the 80s, early 90s. He comes along and helps us make sure nothing falls off the car and puts fuel and stuff in it. Nate Strasser comes and helps. He's actually hurt last year, so he wasn't actually at the races last year, but he's coming back this year. My Uncle Jeff, he has a bad knee right now, so I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to come and help, but that's pretty much it.
Mostly all family.
Yeah, it's all family
Wow.
and close friends. Russ Hockenbrock helped me put some of the body on it and everything. Come over and bend some of the body up for us and put some of the bracing and stuff on whenever you work.
Yeah.
You only have so much time to do this stuff, so.
Well, it's another question. So if you work a regular 9 to 5, how much time during the week do you think you put into this?
In the off season, I try to do it on the weekends as much as I can. And then during the week, I don't normally work on it much, but here and now we're getting closer. I'm starting to ramp up on finishing everything up, get it ready to go. On average during the racing season, I'm probably out here 2-3 nights at least for 3-4 hours probably.
Yeah.
I get home from work, I come out.
First thing, come out to the garage.
Time to do tires or check nuts and bolts, make adjustments, check your shocks, do all the things that you have to do to try to be competitive.
What needs to be done on this for you to be ready to race? And when is the first race for you?
So Port Royal has a first race for limiteds April 4th. Selinsgrove, I believe, is April 11th. So
Okay.
we're going to try to hit the April 4th race. What is left is I picked up my motor last night, so I got to put it in the car. I got to finish my transmission, put it in, get decals, wrap the car, and that should be it. Put shocks on it once I get them back. They should be back here in another week or two.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so you have a couple weeks yet.
Yeah.
What do you love about racing?
The competition of it, how hard it is. I just like racing. Like, it was always something I did. Like I said, when I was younger, I've been going to the racetrack since I was in diapers. I have fond memories of, going to Victory Lane and standing there with Jeff Smith or Dale Kerstetter, or I wasn't there whenever Jeff Leaport won with my dad. That was down at Williams Grove. I just always done it. So my wife's always like, when do you think you're going to stop? I'm like, when it isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
That's when I'll stop. And supers were getting that way for me. Like, it was getting to the point where it was not fun. We'd start up
Non-stop.
front and we'd go backwards because we just didn't have the power that they had. We just didn't have the money to get faster. Like, we were maxed out on what we had, and that was all the faster we could get. And the cars have gotten so much better over the years. Yes, I'm just like, I don't know. So now that we were in the limited class, it's like, I don't know when I'm going to stop. I always said probably around 50. I'm 46 now, so I'm like, I got 3-4 years, hopefully, of doing good here. I've always looked at it. When I stop having fun or don't feel like we can be competitive anymore, then that's probably when we'll hang it up.
So if you've been racing for 26 years, if I do the math on that, you started driving when you were 20.
Yes.
From people I've talked to, is quite a bit older than when they started.
Yeah.
They started in karts.
Yep.
And I guess just kind of worked their way up, and you went right into a street stock.
Yeah. We when I was younger, I begged my dad to put me in a go-kart. My dad and my mom are divorced, and my dad pretty much said that your mother will kill me if I put you in anything.
Oh.
That was the start of it. That pushed me off, and then it turned into, you can't race until you can afford to race.
Okay.
My parents weren't going to fund me the race. They definitely helped me. My dad built my street stock motors. We actually built a car after I had bought that other one. Built a strut car that was quite controversial at the time and got us thrown out a couple times over the car. But we were fast. We won a couple races with it. Yeah, we just had a lot of fun. My dad really enjoyed those cars because that was more like a late model back in the 80s. Was more like a street stock.
They look a lot different now.
Yeah, they're definitely very aerodynamic compared to what they were. The wedge noses and stuff helped them back then. But yeah, now you can really tell how aerodynamic these cars are when you get behind somebody.
Oh, really?
If you don't get the nose out from behind somebody before you get to the end of the straightaway, you're going straight.
It makes that much of a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Wow.
Yeah. The way the noses of these cars are, you have to have air on them or you are not turning when you get to the end of the straightaway.
I would have never thought about that.
And you can feel it too. Like, you can actually feel the car start to lift up if you're tucked up behind somebody real hard. Yeah, you definitely got to turn sooner or hope that they turn down before you need to turn to get air back on the nose so you can actually cut into the corner. So yeah, it's an interesting feeling sometimes, especially like a place like Selinsgrove. It's so fast there.
I was going to ask you, what speed do you think they run at Selinsgrove? I mean, if you had to guess.
Like, a good lap in these cars is in the 19 seconds, high 19 seconds. So that's an average in the 90s. So you're going 110, 115
So there
mile
would
an hour.
definitely make a difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Port Royal, you can get in the 19s there too. It's basically the same racetrack size. You're moving.
Yeah, you're moving.
You're at the end of the
no wonder
straightaway.
you like it.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. When we came out of the street stocks, I remember at Selinsgrove, I could read the tower after a couple years. I could read 1st to 10th the whole way down through until we got past it. When I moved into a super, I could not even see the tower.
That's crazy.
Now I can read a couple of them, but you can't read all the way down through it. You can read 2 or 3 and you're past it. You're just going that much faster than, I think a fast lap was in the 24s, 25s in a street stock. So we're going 5, 6
Way
seconds faster. You're booking up there.
Why did you choose a Swartz chassis?
Dale Foltz, Dale Kerstetter, when he come back out of retirement, Dale Foltz owned his car. My dad helped him with the motor and stuff at the start of when he come back. They bought a Swartz car. Dale really liked it. Some of the safety features on the car. My dad was a real big fan of the safer you can be in a car, the bit faster you're going to go because you have more confidence that you're not going to get hurt. That something bad's going to happen to you. I've had a couple different cars. I've had Capital. I've had Swartz. I had a killer car, which was from Kentucky. So I've tried different cars. I just like the way they steer. I like the way that the car feels. When I had back to racing after COVID and everything, I wanted another car, a newer car, because I had a little bit of an old car. I actually had a Laser at the time. Decided that I wanted to go back into a Swartz car. So I bought a 19 off a guy in Maryland. Just the right front framer, I would bottom out. Knowledge is king in this sport. At the time, I was actually trying to get a backup car because you can never have too many parts and pieces.
Yeah.
I put it out on Facebook that I was looking for another car and some help with setup and everything else. A lot of people were like, you know, you need to talk to Corey Dumpert. And I was like, all right. So I messaged Corey. He's like, yeah, I do consulting and everything, and I can help you. So that's how I started. He helped me out with my 19, and we got way better. And then, like I said, whenever he was ready to, because he gets a new car every year, so he was ready to sell. I was like, yeah, well, I want to buy your car. At the time, Corey, I think this car won 14 or 15 races and finished second and all the rest of them. Like it was a phenomenal car for him. So I was like, all right, if it does good for that, I can make it work. Swartz is a good place. They're good people, but they don't race around here. Even Corey, sometimes it gets a little difficult because he's in Nebraska. Their tracks are totally different. They don't have 410s racing before late models or 358s or 360 sprint cars. They race basically, this is their main class. Like this is their show, is their late models out there. You know, they don't get the tracks blowed off as much as we do and some other things that happen. So it gets a little bit where you're like, you need to find somebody closer to home, which is why I went with Jim Stevens for the shocks and everything, was because he races here. He has a lot of customers around here. So, but it's just trying to gather knowledge. It's just so hard because, I mean, you almost have to have an engineering degree.
Yeah.
Work on these things and set them up if you don't know how to do it. So just trying to get as much help and as much feedback as you can from people is one of the reasons. But I really went with the car, one, for safety, and two, I just like how they drive.
Yeah. Meade sponsors on this car. I see it's not wrapped.
Yeah, it's not wrapped yet. Trying to find a few more. We had a couple of them that did not come back this year. Family commitments to them and stuff. The one guy's nephew's going to start racing, so he's going to sponsor him. Totally understand that. Appreciate all the years they did sponsor me for. That was Trevia Construction, so I am going to say their name. Do a phenomenal job. They've really helped me out over the years. Proud to have them on the car for as long as I did. The other one was Windview Trucking. I did a job for them since I do HVAC work. They helped me out for last year because I do them that way. This year, as far as sponsor goes, for right now, Powered by You Counseling Service, which is my wife. MGM Mechanical, which is my boss. So if you need any heating and air conditioning, that's who you call. You might even actually get me to come to your door and put it in for you. Jackass Distillery. They are up in Spring Glen, and they actually opened up a little store in Millersburg now too.
If someone wanted to get a hold of you to put their name on the car, how would they do that?
Email me, mhahn7@live.com. Well, I gotta thank my stepmom. Her and my dad built this place in the 80s. I turned it into a race car shop after my dad passed away. Well, even before he passed away, we had race cars in here and built race cars and everything else. Stepmom helps me out just with life in general. I gotta thank my stepmom. All my family, they really do help. My sister, my brother-in-law, every once in a while come around and give me a hand. We scrapped basically for how we race. Whenever I do a job and I come home with some copper or an old unit, I sit there and cut it apart and do all that stuff. She lets me have a junk pile out back here and doesn't complain and yell at me. It's too bad. So my uncle, when he comes and helps me, my aunt and stuff, they buy me some tires every once in a while. Family has really been a big supporter. And like I said, my wife, she puts her name on the car, so she lets me spend money. I can't thank her enough. And my daughter for helping me scrap and everything. She goes to the races every once in a while. Trying to get some more things out there. Do better on Facebook, you know, the whole 9 yards for people, but I'm only one person, so sometimes it gets a little tough.
Anyone wants to follow you, they can follow you at Meade Hahn Racing on Facebook. They'll try to see what you're doing this season.
My wife takes care of that right now. Like I said, I'm trying to get better at it. We don't really post a whole lot. We're not big Facebook people. I know we need to get better at it. It seems to be the way of how people market themselves anymore and get sponsors, really, it seems like. Yeah, we are trying to get a little better at it and try a few new things here, you know, doing this video and stuff. I appreciate you guys coming up here and, and doing this for me. But yeah, we're just trying to go racing and have some fun and see what we can do.
Well, Meade, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
It's amazing to hear the history behind the car, especially with your father's name on the back.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you, and we're going to be seeing what you're doing this season. With that being said, we'll see you on the next one.
Built for horsepower, filmed full throttle.